Hi guys, my name is Patrick Barder. I'm currently a junior and studying energy engineering with a double minor in energy business finance and environmental engineering. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about peak oil and some of the discussions surrounding it as to whether we've already reached peak oil, when it's predicted to occur if we haven't reached it already, and some of the potential solutions that we need to look into to solve the peak oil phenomena that is inevitably going to occur. So with that, I'd like to give you some background on peak oil. Peak oil is defined as the point of maximum extraction rate for oil and natural gas. Until that point, we're said to be increasing in extraction rate, as you can see by the curve behind me. We did, however, have a little hiccup around the 1970s and 1980s where oil extraction rate went down. This was solved back then by the innovations that occurred in hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling for oil and natural gas wells. Once we do hit peak oil, however, we're predicted to decline in extraction rate for the remainder of the future of oil and natural gas as a resource. So with that decline, we're going to need to find a solution to this peak oil phenomena, and I'll highlight some of those solutions later on in my presentation. Moving forward, scientists have been predicting peak oil since the early 1930s and 1940s. They've done this mainly through the Hubert peak method, or Hubert peak theory rather, which models cumulative production by the max resource available and two constants A and B, and also the number of years that we can the maximum number of years that we can produce oil and natural gas, the time T. So through this method, scientists have been predicting peak oil, and most of those predictions have been around the early 2000s. So we've surpassed all of those predictions so far through innovation in the oil and natural gas industry, but it's catching up with us, and most of the predictions currently are putting peak oil around the years 2030 to 2040. So with that potentially looming on the horizon, we do need to start to find solutions in either other energy resources or slowing the oil consumption in our world. Most of the proposed solutions, however, lie in the renewable energy resources industry, whether that's whether that's hydro energy, solar energy, wind energy, biomass, biofuels, etc. One of those resources needs to really take the bulk of the oil and natural gas industry. Also doing this, it'll provide a more eco-friendly and green energy for our planet and for our consumers. So, like I stated on the last slide, hydraulic fracturing really prolonged the inevitable problem of peak oil with the innovation that occurred in the 1970s and 80s, and we can continue to do that through more innovation in the oil and natural gas industry, but it's not going to solve the issue. The solution, scientists really believe, is going to lie in the renewable energy industry. So with that, my proposed solution is through the use of solar networks to really replace most of the oil and gas industry in residential homes and businesses throughout the world. Being an energy engineer in Dr. Brownson's solar energy design course, it's really easy to see the application of photovoltaics and how they have such a widespread applicable use in an energy industry setting. And through that use, we can not only just replace oil and natural gas eventually, but we can reduce our consumption of oil and natural gas little by little to the point where we're still be able to use that resource for things like transportation, which solar energy may not be able to cover yet. So it's going to be important moving forward that we still have oil and gas as a transportation resource to provide energy for cars, buses, airplanes, but a lot of the home and business appliances such as heating and cooling should be able to be readily replaced through the use of solar energy and solar networks. So to conclude, although peak oil really is coming, it's going to be here, well, not hopefully, but most likely in the next 20 to 30 years, we really do need to find solutions to this problem. Solar energy is a very viable solution. It's a much more powerful resource than oil and natural gas, and I really do believe that it's going to replace the oil and gas industry once we do hit peak oil and start to decline in oil and gas extraction rate. So with that, we're going to provide a green and eco-friendly energy resource to homes, businesses, and really our world, and move forward and hopefully make our world healthier and bring about a new renewable energy resource that's going to last for a lot longer than oil and gas. And with that, I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation. These are my sources, my works cited, and that's all I have for you today.